Good morning, everybody. This is the November 11th meeting. 10th. 10th. Sorry. No, 10th meeting of the Darien Beautification Commission. And it is 10:02, I believe. So we'll get started. First item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the October 13th meeting. They were circulated by Jackie? Yeah.
They were I didn't see them.
Oh no, did you see them?
I got them.
You got them?
I did.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago or something.
Oh, longer than that, because we're now on the right schedule for getting them posted on the website within 7 days of our meeting. They go up as a draft, and then we vote the following month, and then they become
So it was
final.
like 3 weeks
Does anyone
ago.
have a copy with them? I just
I
wanted
left my folder home. I did.
Yeah.
No, and I didn't bring my copy, and I didn't
only
even
have
put
it
it
on
up
my
on my
phone.
screen.
I didn't print it out.
We can come back and vote on it if you want to have a quick look through.
I trust you ladies. I watched the meeting, so.
Oh, fine, all
And
right.
I did go back and
And,
watch the meeting since I couldn't stay for it all.
no, and Jackie's very good. She does a very good summary, hits all the highlights without making it too detailed and boring.
Gotta keep it to one page.
Yes,
Like
yes,
a
it's
resume.
definitely
Keep
one
it to one page.
Yes.
So you'll lose their
Like the
attention.
agenda. All right. So should we wait to take a vote then, or would you? Are you?
No, we're fine.
Let's take a vote. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of us. So motion to approve. Jackie seconded. Elizabeth.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Amanda.
It's okay.
Okay. All in favour? I know.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, the next item is follow-up on candidates for the commission, and I had just assumed that because I sent people the links for application that there was more than one in process, but I just went up to the first selectman's office, and Linda told me the only one that's actually got traction at the moment is Katie Jarrett, who's before the Board of Selectmen soon. She's a nomination by the DTC. So I'll just remind the people that I know of who've expressed interest and resend the link to them for applying, but it just seems like the other people haven't followed through. So I don't know if any of you have other candidates that you want to
And you did
suggest.
send to that gal.
Yeah,
on Hollow Tree.
yes, I got in touch with her, and I got in touch with Lauren's candidate as well, but maybe I just need to remind people.
She's the one who maintains that island?
And Hollow
That's
Tree
yours.
and
The bottom of Hollow
Post
Tree.
Road.
Yes.
Yes.
It looks
She's
so
on
much better.
Wilson Ridge. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's done a great job.
I'll reach out to each of them again. And then the third item was just to let you know that Elizabeth and I, replanted the bare patch on Habitat Hill. So all of the plants that we ordered from Earth Tones arrived. And we got everything in. They're not that big, so it still looks like it's a bare patch, but you can see the tags near the plants. And I think it will look really good next year, especially if we're able to keep the plantings lower. Now we've got access to the slopes, it'll be a lot easier to keep them tidier, and then the newer ones will have a chance to catch up. And so soon I think it'll all look like it was planted at the same time. And then we also had benches delivered this morning, 2 benches that we put down the side of the Mather Centre looking at the right-hand slope as you're looking up the staircase. They came from the Gardeners Centre, and we bought them out of our capital budget. They're really pretty. They look like wood, but they're actually stone. They're extremely heavy. So that's a good thing, because they'll settle into the ground and won't wobble. And it also means that they won't get carried away. So,
Do we know where we're going to place them?
where?
Where we're placing them?
I placed them for now, and Tony from Public Works came under the first window. So if you...
I saw where they are right now. Is that where they're going to stand?
That's what I had in mind. If you'll have a different spot, and I said the same to Public Works, if it's somewhere else that you'd like to see them, my idea was to have a spot where people could sit and look at the slopes, because you don't get the full picture when you just run up and down the stairs, and it's nice to just take some time and see all the life that's living in the plants. But
Well, it's good because they're a little bit protected from the elements too.
yes.
And it's shady, which is good.
And a little
Well,
shade.
and the other thing is that as long as the people inside the Mather Centre don't mind, you can actually lean back, put your back against the wall.
Maybe we should move them out then.
Well, I thought it might be useful.
Oh.
Let's see. I mean, if the
Yeah.
people in class find it distracting to have heads outside the window.
And that's assuming they get used.
Yeah.
Well, I did hear one of the Public Works
Oh, someone might have lunch out
he
there.
has lunch there and
Nice.
looks at the flowers. So
I
he's
think
going to use
that's
them.
nice.
I think
Nice.
it's absolutely lovely. I don't, he must have been sitting on the ground up until now, or maybe on the steps.
Or just leaning against the building.
Yes.
Yeah, and also they can put the shades down if they're you
Yeah.
know, doing bridge in there and it's distracting.
And I assume no one's going to sit on the bench and turn
Well,
around
it's
their
not like,
faces.
yeah, no one's gonna sit there with a boombox blaring. you know.
Yeah,
Oh, I
exactly. And I
Likely.
I feel like it's really good for the seniors because they don't have any outdoor space.
No, that's true.
So
isn't
I
it?
can
Yeah.
see them using
Ah.
that space. I think that's a really great place for them.
Well, then it makes it more important that it's shady because the
Yes.
front of the Maither Centre it really gets hit with sun, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be practical to put them
No,
there.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
All right. Well, we'll make sure they will sink into the ground and be a bit sturdier. They're a little bit wobbly at the moment, so I wouldn't.
okay.
Also take a seat on it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I saw Tracy on the way in, and directed her down there. Okay, so next cleanup.
Oh, well,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, the invoice for those benches, Juliet just gave me was $351. So if you look at,
Whoa, 351.
yes, that's what you just said.
Oh, then they gave us a discount.
Yeah, 2 at $195, minus a 10% discount.
Oh, wow. I didn't say. I should have my glasses on. I didn't see
So it
that.
came to $351 for the two
Oh, that's
for
really
the
good
two
because I thought it
benches.
would be 400.
So we still have almost 20, so we still have over $2,100 in our capital
no
budget to
capital
spend.
account. Okay. So one of the things, all right, well, that's a good segue because in terms of cleanup, one of the things I thought we could spend some of that money on, and I think the town would like to just clean up these straggly capital balances.
Mhm.
I thought perhaps we could get the burning bush, that great big red bush that's on our slope removed. I know it looks pretty, but it's a horrible plant.
Plant.
It poisons the
Horrible.
ground. It's an invasive. It's spreading so prolifically through our state that the understory tree now in many of our forests is this. It hosts no biodiversity, hosts no life at all, and is this, as I said, ridiculous spreader. And I feel that having it there it's inconsistent with what we're trying to do in the rest of the plantings.
Right.
And what we could do is we could admit that it looks pretty, but we could replace it with, say, a high bush blueberry or red twig dogwood, something reddish that, so people won't feel the loss of the colour so much.
Mhm.
And it occurred to me on my way here that we could also, and I will commit to do this, put an article in the paper, or at least submit an article, that would describe why we're removing this and why the burning bush, Euonymus alatus, is so bad, so that it becomes instructive. And we are actually teaching
Being proactive
and proactively removing the bush and suggesting alternatives that we in fact will.
And making people aware,
Yes.
if they have it, they
That's a
might
great
like it.
idea.
So that way we could use some of our capital account, teach about the invasive, and then use some more of our capital account to replace with a high bush blueberry or something like that, maybe a couple of them. Okay, I think that's, I like that plan.
When are
Yeah.
you wanting to do the next cleanup?
So the next cleanup then, I would love if we could do something on the slopes and maybe the Veterans Circle. I don't know what happened. So if you look at the Veterans Circle and in some of the concrete planters, there's big holes and then there's mounds of dirt. So I asked Public Works because I thought it might be the students who planted the tulips, that they planted a whole lot of yellow tulips for mental health awareness. And Tony from Public Works told me it wasn't them and he thought it was us. And I said, we would never do that. We would never, if we made a mess, we would, repair it. And I started because I asked him for mulch so that we could clean it up. And he was going to get us the mulch. But we don't know who made all the holes. But it's very, very untidy. Right as you walk into into Town Hall, the circle, in between the shrubs that we planted. This is the mounds of, or it's raw dirt. You've got the mulch and then you've got the raw dirt mounds and holes.
What if it's critters?
Yeah.
Well,
because
that's another thought. It could be them. Oh, yes,
That's what's
because,
happening in my garden at home.
okay.
Could
Well,
be
I
something
quite like
growing
to,
for winter.
Winter.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that maybe Friday
We
or,
have heart traps.
yeah. Well, whenever we do it, I'd quite like to clean that up, and there's a bit more mugwort growing there. And then just cut down a little bit more on the slopes. I don't believe in cutting down per se, because I think it's important to keep them up, but I think because this is a public planting, people are going to want something a little tidier. I'm happy to cut a few of the
On,
plants on our slopes, yes.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'll also encourage it to be fuller.
yes. Talking about strange diggings, on the left-hand slope, as you're looking up the staircase, we've heard of crop circles, where these mysterious circles in cornfields, and well, we have stone circles. There's little holes, and then there's a mound of stones. It's about 8 of them on the left-hand side, so it's really mysterious. Have you seen it?
Really?
Yes.
No.
It's so peculiar.
It's aliens.
So if that was, if it was animals, I could see making the hole, but not arranging the stones. We'll have a look after the meeting. It's very anyway. I thought we might do some cleanup around
Cleanup,
that.
yeah.
Maybe we'll see who our visitors are. And then the Garden Club of Darien had a donation from the Greenwich Daffodil Society of a number of daffodil bulbs, and I thought that we would take them and put them maybe in Amy's Smile Garden.
Oh, that would be
That'd
so
be
pretty
nice,
there.
yeah.
Well, I was thinking that's so visible, isn't it?
Yeah.
People going
People
to and from
walking
the
to the
train,
train
yes,
and-
and down the sidewalk.
And Tilly and
So-
stuff,
We need to take, the Garden Club needs to have photographs taken to record Garden Club members, actively participating and donating. So if I can get a few of them together, and I'll, yes.
I fit
So
both
Susan-
have both hats.
You have both hats, I have
Yeah.
both hats, but maybe we should have somebody else as well. And then,
yeah. In addition, not.
yeah, in addition, yes. And then we could fix up a day, and then we'll,
Can we get mulch for that garden too?
we need mulch for that. I'm sure.
Because remember after we did all that weeding last year and cleaned it all up, then it just looked like hell
Yeah,
again.
because,
Because
Yeah.
it didn't have the mulch and it
did we
gets
ask for
so,
mulch?
no, we didn't. And
Right.
it gets so hot in that garden that you really need some
Yeah.
mulch.
It really bakes, doesn't it?
It bakes.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
bakes.
Because it gets that southern and western sun,
Yeah.
so it really cooks.
Well, if the next cleanup is here at Town Hall, and we do the slopes and we do the centre island, shall I just have Public Works would mulch there for us?
I mean, I'm happy to, I have some.
It would have to be, an additional activity.
Yeah, I'm
All right.
happy to,
No, I
if
will.
someone gives me a hand, I'd be
I will
happy
do.
to go work on that
Okay.
garden again
All right.
and work on the mulch.
All right.
In addition to trying Friday morning, so.
Well, maybe the thing to do is to tie it in with whatever date we do the daffodil bulbs, because then we could be there and.
Plant them and then mulch.
Yes, so Public Works could deliver it, and then we could do it, and then they would be very happy with that, because we're also maintaining with new planting, so that's the way I could sell it perhaps. All right, excellent. All right, so
All in the marketing.
I'll fix a date for that. I'll circulate something, and I'll just get a couple more Garden Club people. And then, so, what works for people's schedules? I mean, we can do this together, or we can each come down separately to work on the slopes. I could do Friday morning or Saturday
I
morning.
could do Friday morning.
Friday morning.
I
Is
can't
that
do
I
hard?
can do Fridays.
Okay, all right. That'd be great. I
Can
mean,
we
doing
do
it
it
together.
early though?
Yep.
I like it early.
Yeah,
Eight
me too.
o'clock
I have to get
early?
it over with.
No, I might just sleep here, yes.
Are we talking this Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and
Do
again,
this
no
Friday.
obligation. As long as you do a couple, through the year, it's good enough.
Friday.
All right.
I'll go to the.
Where do you
I
want
could
to
do
meet?
something
At
else.
Town Hall here?
Yeah, it's just the
Okay.
bottom of the slopes. Maybe-
8 a.m. is it?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Right.
Whenever you
That's
can
okay.
get there.
Yes,
Am I-
So which one are we starting first? Here?
yes,
8 o'clock Friday, here.
yes.
Okay.
And then we'll.
Maybe the following Friday we can do
Amy Smart, yeah, I'll do it, because that gives Public Works more time to
Yeah.
gather the,
What if I came earlier than 8? I have to
Oh.
work, could I come earlier than that? I mean,
Is
if
it-
I started, like.
if it's light.
Okay.
It's light at
Very
6.
light now.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking
You
like
can come
7.
whenever you want.
Okay,
It's
I might
wonderful,
come here
yeah.
at 7.
And
That's impressive, Colleen,
I'm working on Friday,
especially
so.
since you have
Yeah.
kids, you have
Well-
kids and everything.
what we could do after the meeting is take a walk down there, and we could figure out some things that you could do if you,
Wonderful.
don't have us
That'd
around.
be great.
All right, we'll do that. And I think that takes us to.
I actually brought my cleanup stuff with me this morning, and I threw it in the back of the car with gloves and snips and stuff, and I was all set to clean up the planters, and Juliet had beat me to it.
Oh, well, I was
And had
here.
put in some really pretty thyme and stuff, and some sage and lamb's ear and stuff, and it looks so pretty.
Well, it's really
So-
interesting. Last summer, when we were doing the planters, I just pulled some roots of thyme out of my garden, and not a very big plant. I put a little bit in each planter. The plant is huge now, hanging down the side.
Cascading down, it looks so
Yes.
beautiful. Plus, it gets doesn't it get a little bit of a pink hue
It
to it?
does. It has little
right?
pink flowers, and I'm just thrilled because it's a really easy, cheap way to do civic plantings.
We like free works.
It
Yeah,
really
and if
helps
you need
budget.
any time, then
Free
go
and
to town hall.
multiply, yeah. And so when I came with my partner from the Pollination Pathway, she said, "Oh, I'm cooking tonight." She does. I mean, that's wonderful.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not
because the
too
more you
bad.
add it, the more it just keeps growing, so.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this is wonderful. We could put other herbs in there, and then we could come to
Yeah.
town hall. They can snip away,
Sage.
not destroy the whole thing. That's we need to control it, but yeah, they need to be pruned. All right. So Tracy, budget.
All right, I handed out, everyone
Oh, yeah.
has the sheet. The only expense I paid this month was the final bill for Elder to water, he did one watering and then the removal of the baskets. So the baskets are all down, and I have some good news. The
Good.
planter at Leary's
Let's come back.
is in the back of the building, they moved it to the back of
Oh.
the building. So we still have, we have the 2 planters.
Okay.
If I could find one of the other ones,
So how many did we lose altogether?
I think we lost 2 then, because I can't find the one down by Vivala. I haven't gone in there.
Well, that could have
before.
got washed away. Did you see there was a
I
merge
know.
in the flood?
I know, so that's what I'm thinking, that one probably got trashed.
Mm.
And then we had that one by Sanda's, we had those 3, so but at least I have the one for,
Well, that's good.
so. Actually, no, I have the one from Sanda's, because that's the one Elder brought back to me.
Okay, so we probably
So I'm
lost
only
one
missing
then.
one,
Okay.
All right, that's not bad.
so. Yeah, so that's
All right.
good.
And I had a note from Jen Chanowski that I need to do the budget for next year. And because we were so tight this year, I feel that I would like to apply for more in our operating account, not necessarily capital budget, although that would be nice, but definitely in our operating account, because right now you can tell we're running really tight with the baskets and there's very little left over. So I feel with the amount that we have, we are not able to maintain, except through the efforts that we make personally. We no longer have enough budget to hire landscapers to look after the berm, for example.
Right,
And that's more than, the group of us can manage.
right.
So I think it's very important we
Must be
can't
mulch the
just,
daylights out of it.
we can't just do these projects and then just let them go and hope that we'll
No, they have to get maintained.
yeah, they have to be maintained and that has to be part of the budget. So I'm going to make that point and hopefully we'll get more next year. I think perhaps this year was tight given the constraints on the town with COVID, and maybe this year will be a little bit more available for us. But okay, so so our capital account though still would have about 2,000 and 2,100
$1,200, yeah.
after the benches, so we'd have enough room to remove that burning bush, buy a few more plants. Okay, all right, that's pretty healthy. And any other business is the next item?
Well,
Yes.
I have here, I've got the receipt here for our quote for the hanging baskets.
Oh, okay, good.
So,
Sorry.
I have to order them early, and I am just waiting on one last thing, and then I have to physically go walk around town and make sure. We had we had a number of extra baskets last year that we ended up not using. So we ended up putting some up at Weed Beach. We put one at the dump at the house, the scale house as you pull in. So there were a couple extra baskets because the hanging baskets can't be in the way of no parking signs and whatnot. So I'm scaling those back this year. We also did put the 4 hooks for the 4 additional baskets are being put up for Tilly. So that increased our baskets in Tilly. But, so I'm just trying to fine tune that number. And everybody's on board. All of our usual suspects are coming forward. I did raise the prices because they cost us so much to maintain. We did increase the prices on the baskets. And
the overall cost
very,
on top of it.
and very generous to us. Our supplier only raised the basket by like $1. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was awesome. Considering, I know you go buy that turkey, it's not going to be $1 more this year. So that was really generous on their part because we've been doing them for so many years. So,
But we still can't afford to have baskets left over.
So-
Our budget is too tight for that, so Tracy's
Right.
being very precise.
yeah, so I'm really, I know I'm waiting on the woman from Ravis who I'd like to really, I wish we didn't get into that in the beginning, but she wants baskets again. So she's letting me know if she wants to increase the baskets, and I should know today.
Okay.
So I'm waiting on that, and then I'm just gonna walk through town and just make sure I have, a more precise number so I can scale it back. And the woman was great. She said, here, I'll give you the quote for 204 baskets, and if it's less, that's even better. So as long as we don't go over the 204, and we shouldn't.
Right.
So I kind of look at it right now at being about 200, maybe a little bit less, but I really have to go look at those signs to see, where the hooks are. So that's that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. It's a lot of work. You have to
It
actually
is.
do the counting yourself.
I'm going to, because, elder water is different things, and and if I ask Elder to go with me, then we gotta pay Elder, he's
Yeah.
No, I just
Volunteers
thought it might fall under somebody else's responsibility.
Well, Public Works didn't really count them when they hung them.
Oh, they did?
No, they don't really count them as they hang them.
Yeah, they just put 'em
And they
up.
brought us back hanging baskets, so we ended up, putting more stuff in at Town Hall,
yeah.
and the Scale House, and Weed Beach. But every time we add, then it just costs us more
Yes.
watering too,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
said, and then I've had people at the beach say, well, why don't you've got hanging baskets at Weed Beach, why don't you do some at Pear Tree Point? It's like, well, why don't you? Pear Tree Point.
But you know what,
What's his weed?
a couple of people commented to me that they love seeing it at the dump. It is
Oh,
nice, and they can
yeah.
water that themselves.
But you know what? That planter they have it in, maybe that's where we could use one of our planters, but
Yeah.
that planter they have it in, it's just too
Tiny.
big, and then
Oh,
it dries right out.
Wait,
Yeah,
I thought it was
But
little.
at first
One
it was so
right in front of
pretty.
the guardhouse.
Yeah, it's too small for
I
our
was gonna say, it's
planters.
tiny, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Unless we break up the planter like we do here at Town Hall,
Wow,
we could plant it.
yeah, we could do that. I mean, it is pretty.
It's completely the
going
wrong
to the
scale
dump.
though, isn't it?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Tiny little thing. It looks like it came straight from the swap shop.
Yeah, it probably did.
Probably did. And there's nothing wrong
And it
with
just
I'm
that.
surprised they don't have more than.
Yeah. So, anyway, so that's where I stand on it, and I've got to really narrow that down so I can get
Yeah,
back to
okay.
Mary this week and give her our final number. So,
Okay, well done. That's a lot of work. Thank
so,
you.
well, thank God
All right.
for Sandy being so organized with it.
No, that's great. Is there anything else on budget?
No, I think we're good. Oh, what I was gonna say then, so this month I have that September invoice, then I have to pay, for, Wilmer, which is $385. And that will get divided between, he cleaned up by exit 11, and that was $140, so that'll come out of the Adopt a Garden
Okay.
balance.
Did he? I didn't really notice it looking that great.
That was August 16th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was an
Yeah,
old
it really
invoice.
needs,
Again, well, I'll call Elder. Is Wilmer back in business? I don't know.
if you want to call Elder, he would love to do it.
Okay.
Do we have enough money?
Yeah.
Oh, for the
yeah.
doctor.
And Dr. Gordon, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other amount was $245, and that was for the berm. That was back in August. So I have that. I have the benches to pay out of the capital account. So that, and then I have to send in half of the money, the quote for the plants, for the baskets is $7,300, and I need to send in half of that. So I'll send in $3,700 out of our line account. So, which we'll have, we do have. So, because we have a balance of $13,000 in there right now.
I don't have to explain an overdraft.
No. And, and quite honestly, it would be nice if we could get some of the merchants to maybe contribute somehow, to offset some of the watering.
Well, could they water their own?
I wouldn't.
We've tried that before.
Yeah, that's gonna
Because then
happen.
you get somebody's
Yeah,
on
it doesn't
vacation
happen.
and then it gets
Yeah.
neglected and then the thing
Yes.
looks like
Yeah.
hell. And
Yeah,
Okay,
So-
it's better for us.
it's better if we can maybe solicit some financial assistance from
Yes,
some
all
of
right,
them.
well, I'll work on that.
So,
Sorry, you mentioned the berm and it made me think, I know we're jumping around a bit, but when Elizabeth and I did the replanting at Habitat Hill, we managed to find lots of volunteer plants that are really in the wrong place on the slopes. And you took them to the berm, and I think we can go on doing that. When we work this Friday, we should keep an eye out for plants that are in the wrong place that we could donate, because I really think, particularly if our budget is low again next year, that one of the ways to keep the weeds down is to just keep planting over them, dig out as we go.
Planting and mulching.
Plant, yeah. And then the berm will become more colourful anyway. We certainly, the solidago on the slopes is spreading like crazy, so we would,
yeah,
that would be good to give you some of those.
right. Yeah,
As
I'm
I say
happy to
you.
do that. Yeah, no, I'm happy to do.
Yeah.
It was great too, because when I planted, I just had to water a couple times, and then we had all that
Yes,
rain for a
yes.
whole week.
Perfect, yes.
it was
very
rain
nice.
Saturday, so if we,
Yes, yeah, I heard that. So if we work
Yeah,
on
so
Friday,
that's perfect, actually.
that should be
or Friday night, so it should be.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, any other business? I couldn't think of anything else.
It's kind of a quiet time of year.
It is a quiet time of year,
Things
but
are kind of winding
We're
down.
actually quite active considering it. I think we're working well into the late part of the season.
Well, I don't know about you, but hardly any of our leaves are down. And,
Here.
and there's still a lot of leaves that are green.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
oh my God, I'm going to be doing leaves in December this year.
Yeah.
Maybe even January for the
Yes.
oaks, who knows, but.
Well, that's a troubling sign altogether, but not a topic for.
So, yeah, so I mean, I've been trying to get caught up in my own garden and stuff.
Yes.
And
Oh, I dream of doing that.
I mean, it's never ending, I know.
All right then. So, well, I
It's
think
good
we've
for my
covered
stress.
everything. I'm really glad because I do think we're pretty active. We've
Do you want a copy of the quote?
Oh yes, that'd be great. That will help me actually when I plan for the budget. All right.
Tell them we did the whole thing. It does include,
Okay, so this is our just over $7,000 is just for the baskets.
so just the baskets, that's not any of the maintenance.
Okay, that's a big chunk out of what's remaining in our line account.
But we will get reimbursed too by
Oh yes, we do,
library.
yes. All right. See, you give me the bad news, then I forget to temper it.
I like to sugarcoat things.
All right, I know. Okay, so nothing else?
Does anybody else have any invoices? We don't have any other outstanding
No.
invoices, right? Just
No,
the
okay,
bench
fine.
and that one for Wilmer.
Yep.
Elder is paid in full at this point.
Unless you want to pay us for all of our
Yeah.
contributions. We're really expensive.
I don't think I saw any information on that at the elections last week.
No, we give our time for free.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately and unfortunately. So,
All right, well, it is 10:32, motion to adjourn from anybody? Tracy, seconded, Elizabeth, all in favour?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. concludes our meeting.
Let's go down and check out.
Yes.